Hello and welcome to Paper Plays Julie K.
Welcome everyone, and thank you so much for stopping by. Today I'm continuing to work on my weekly planner for the Margarete Miller challenge. And first of all, I just wanted to thank everybody who has been watching my videos each week, and then also those of you who have been leaving comments. I really appreciate it. This has been a really fun challenge for me, and I'm continuing to enjoy it. And so we are on week 14. Last week we did this fun little one with the little bird on it. And so this week the first thing is a ribbon. And so this one was sitting on my desk in my scrap pile. So this was the first ribbon I came to. So I just pulled that one out. And then the next one said a plant. And so the next couple things that I found quick in my stash is I pulled out two sheets that came from a book, and they have like little plants on them. So I pulled those two, and then out of my digital piles, I had these two images. I think this one came from Tsunami Rose, and this one is, I think this one's Artie Mays, but it could be Tracy Fox too, that says nature. So those ones all had plants on them, so I pulled those ones out. And then the next one said a person in whichever form. And so the first two things that I came from in my miscellaneous pile, I had this one of this lady, and I'm not quite sure what the year was. It's just a, reproduction, but it said free patterns on it. And then also the Tim Holtz paper doll. So I can use one of those. And then the next prompt was splashes or splotches. And so I pulled this out because I had used it on another project. And it's Dylusions white linen ink spray, so I figured I could just kind of splash some of that around on one of my papers or something for that. And then sheet music, I had this partial piece of sheet music, so I pulled that out. And then the bonus was a sewing pattern, and so I did have one that I used a long time ago on some journal, and so I still had pieces of that left. And then I also pulled out of my scrap pile, sometimes you get those little strips on the bottoms of scrapbooking paper, and this one had a sentiment that said everything you can imagine is real. It's a Picasso saying, so maybe I'll add that. I don't know if I will or not, but I just was trying to clean up some stuff from my scrap pile too. And so what I think I'm going to do to start off with is I'm going to take my sheet music and maybe rip it down a little bit, but I'm then going to glue on some of the sewing pattern right away on top of that before I glue it onto my page. So I think those are going to be my first couple things I do, and then at that point I might also just go ahead and spray this onto the sheet too. So I'll do that all off camera so you guys don't have to watch me glue and rip stuff. And then I'll maybe just cut down a couple these two sheets just so I can kind of see what they look like a little bit closer. And then I'll start rearranging everything on here with you guys. But I wanted to give you my starting plan. So off camera, I'll go ahead and rip this down a little bit to size and glue this on and then spray this on top of that. And then I'll go ahead and come back on camera so you guys can see how I create my layout. Okay, I'm back, and I did take my music sheet and I glued on the piece of sewing pattern on top of it. And for gluing on my sewing pattern, I did use this matte medium to glue it on so that it would stay nice. And then after I did that, I did take the Dylusions white spray and sprayed it just to make my splotches for the splashes or splotches, and that took a while to dry. And so now I'm back, and I did go ahead and cut out these pieces. And while I was cutting them out, I decided that maybe I wanted to go with this lady on this free pattern thing, just since there was the sewing pattern that I used in the background. I thought they would maybe kind of go together. And so then I opted to use this little piece from Tsunami Rose. And then I'll still use this ribbon somewhere. So I'm going to go ahead and try and lay things out. So again, I like to start with my biggest piece. So I'll probably glue this down. And I might as well just go ahead and do that right now. So then the next step, I guess, is to decide my layout. And I kind of want, you can see the name of the pattern, the McCall's down here, so I kind of want that showing. So I'll probably lay this out either to the left or the right. So maybe I'll go there. So I think I kind of like that layout right there with those couple pieces. And then so I think I like the red ribbon that I have here. I think I like it just on this piece of paper with the lady on it. So I'm going to cut it down to fit on there. And I think then that'll have completed my layout. I have a ribbon, the plant, which is the flowers that are on here, the roses, a person, which is her, splashes or splotches, which is the white ink, the sheet music, and the bonus sewing pattern. So I think I've hit on everything. So I'm going to go ahead and glue all of this down. So yeah, I think I'm going to call that good with my layout for this week. And it's probably not one of my more favorite ones, but it's probably not the worst one either in the bunch. I just think it maybe needed some more color, and maybe down the road I'll add something else to it. But for now, I'm going to call it done, and I appreciate everyone watching this week. I hope you all have a wonderful day and happy crafting.